The first time I saw her, I wasn't wearing my prescription glasses, so I wasn't sure if she was a mangy old bobcat or an abandoned dog. It was a Saturday in July. I was in the middle of a 2-week work trip in a coastal Georgia town. I had the day off, so I was exploring some swampy back road historical sites, and that's how I found myself in that empty dirt parking lot. I whistled, and she started towards me. I could see hunks of fur flopping from side to side along her skinny body. A dog. A butterfly floated between us, and she stopped, captivated, her little head mimicking the erratic flight. Well, there went my day's plans. There was no way I was going to leave such a whimsical soul in such a dangerous place. At least not for long. She wouldn't let me touch her, so I drove back to a country store and bought some food and water. She watched me pour it out in a shady corner of the lot, and then I settled some distance away. After she ate, she got closer, still not close enough. I had a blanket in my car, and when I got up to get it, she blocked my path as if to say, "Please, just give me a little more time." I reassured her, got the blanket, spread it out, and sat down. She circled and then settled with her front feet just touching the edge of the blanket. After a couple of minutes of quiet conversation, a white pickup truck passed by, turned around, and pulled into the lot. The only occupant, a man, just sat there watching us while his engine idled. I looked at her. She edged closer. I said, "Let's go, girl," praying that she wouldn't try to run or bite. I scooped her up. She nestled in. I got the blanket and got in the car. I have no idea what his motivations were, but I do know that she and I both agreed that was not a situation either of us wanted to be in. I got on the road towards the nearest PetSmart, thinking the only thing I could do was to give her to whatever rescue group was working that weekend. Meanwhile, she began the audition to become my best friend, her feet planted firmly on the console, tail wagging her entire body, beaming at me as though we were long-lost pals. I reminded myself that the situation was hopeless. I was in the middle of a work trip. This just couldn't happen. Instead, I focused on the fleas I could see walking across her face. Of course, I didn't have a leash, so I had to carry her into the store, and we must have been a sight because people kept stopping us, asking if they could give us money or buy us food, and I just laughed and said, "I'm only here to help a girl along her path." I started in the vet clinic asking if they could check her for a microchip and treat her for fleas. She was chipped. Turns out she was a poodle terrier mix, a pooter. Her name, Karma. As they were calling her owners, I had a little conversation. Good karma, bad karma. Go get 'em, Karma. Seemed a pretty weighty name for such a tiny little beast. They had to leave a message, so while we were waiting for the call back, I borrowed a leash saying I would go over to the rescue and make arrangements if they needed to be done. And then I took the longest walk possible across the store, all the while talking to my prancing little friend. And when I got to the rescue, I was surprised to find it very breed specific. And that breed, Great Dane. Pooter. Before I could talk to anyone, though, the vet tech intercepted me. We heard from Karma's owners. They were military, they were deployed and gave her away. They don't want her to go back to those people. Not to fear, I said, having seen the signs from the universe. I took the information on how to transfer the chip, made arrangements with a nice lady from the Dane Rescue, bought a bed, some food, some toys, all the things. Kissed her ratty little head and told her I'd see her when my work was done in a few days. And then I left the store to call my partner with the good news. On the drive back to North Carolina, she threw up 5 times. That was over 15 years ago. It took me a while to come to terms with the fact that I was simply Casey's, that's what we renamed her. I was simply Casey's mode of transport to get from the swamps of Georgia to the true love of her life, my partner, Marnie. She became the grande dame of our family. Sadly, we had to say goodbye just over a year ago. Most of her hearing had gone and her big heart had failed. But even that last spring and early days of summer, her eyes, they were still bright. And she was still captivated by the beauty of a butterfly passing through.